Hello,
Hola.
Christina.
Hi.
Hola. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine. I am in a heat wave in Madrid,
So
so quite
you're
hot.
in yeah. Yeah, I was reading that you are about to like break all previous records for how hot it's ever been in Spain. So yeah, I'm not
Ah,
envious, I have to say.
yeah. Well, sometimes it has been close to this, but it's like in June. It sometimes happen, but I think we're not ready yet for this super heat wave. We must
Yeah.
be. Let me check, but we must be around 40 almost right now.
Oi.
So, so in a way, I think it could be a good way for us to connect to our experience in Denmark 4 years ago.
Yes.
It's a good
Yeah.
link for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, well, welcome, Christina. We're gonna wait for a couple more people to join. Like, let's give people like a couple minutes to start talking. Say hi
Mm-hmm.
to welcome everyone who's joining. We always say this that this conversation will be recorded and it will be accessible in our YouTube channel, in the Bilbao Visual Thinking Global Summit YouTube channel, and also on our Instagram.
Yeah.
So everything we will share here, it can be shared later on.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Yes, and people are joining from different parts of the world. Oh, hello. Also, La Terminal. Our
Yeah.
venue is
La
joining. Very
Terminal.
good.
Yay.
Ongi, Ongi etorri. It's also Irache, Flavia, Martin, Joanne, and some other people that I'm reading.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us. So since it is like it's almost the end of lunchtime for us here, probably it's almost the evening in other parts of Europe.
Well, it's so funny because I mean, right now people are gonna be leaving work in Denmark. Like if you work 8 to 4, so they're gonna be leaving work, picking up kids, thinking about dinner. So yeah, it's completely different
Completely,
way, different rhythm to the day.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We are shifting a little bit our schedules, but still, this would be definitely afternoon. And we have had some other experience about this. Oh,
Mm.
morning in Brazil, Flavia is sharing.
Mm.
Yes. Good morning, buenos
Mm.
dias, in Brazil.
Thank you for spending your morning with us.
Yes, yes, definitely. Well, I think since this will be again recorded and
Mm.
available through our channels, we can start talking. And we're gonna do a short introduction for those who don't know yet about our amazing Visual Thinking Global Summit upcoming,
Yeah.
going through all the challenges of this last year. It's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen in Bilbao. So we're
Mm.
gonna get together the 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th of July in Bilbao. It will be a pretty special and challenging and new style of getting together. Beyond a conference, we're organizing a summit
Mm.
that means that we have this global approach. We want everyone to be able to join us in presentially and also online from any part of the world. And the goal of this summit is to open conversations and to be able to get together and build the future together and think about this. So this little thing this about the summit, and now we want to discover a little bit about you, Christina. Where are you connecting?
Mhm.
And tell us a little bit about you first.
Yeah. Well, I'm joining from Denmark, so that's my base in the world, and I am. I'm a project manager first. Just to start somewhere, I've worked with project management a lot with uh, education, both online and live. Worked 10 years in the insurance academy in Denmark, for example. So my first 20 years professionally was very much around that. And then at some point back in 2011, 2012, I picked up graphic facilitation and started using that as a tool and as a method in my project management, and just discovered that it was very powerful, and have combined that ever since. And then since 2018 I've been solo employed with, I think, like the other way around. So first, visuals, graphics, illustrations, things like that, and then project management is a part of also of my services. And in 2014, which was a defining year for a lot of people in my community, we had the first European-based conference in this visual thinking, within this what do you call it, realm of visual thinking, and that was in Berlin, and that was definitely defining for me in regards to the people I met and the community that I started building, but also that I immediately became a part of. So it's been quite a journey, and it's been very interesting, and I've been part of building the European community. So in 2016 and 17, I was and 18, I was a huge part of defining and building a European community. And then in 2018, I was hosting the next European conference in Denmark, together with Mara Kallert from Belgium. So yeah, so I feel very connected to this
Yes.
to this group, and I feel a huge part of pushing and building community, and I feel very much part of the global visual family, as I call it, because it really feels like family to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have definitely give my testimonial of you as a bridge, and in so many aspects as an impulser and a spark of all this community, and all with your background also. It really connects with the sense also of this summit, that we are trying to offer to society how much of a useful and heart and mind opener tool is the visual thinking. So definitely your path throughout project management, and you have enjoyed and helped so many people with visuals in that part, and also those skills were put up together in the experience in Runstegard. So, or please excuse me for the pronunciation. So
Okay.
yeah, I think that's also we are having these sessions to also help people to understand what they are going to miss if they don't join us. So based on the experience of Denmark, I think it will be very nice to share a little bit of an overview of what happened there, what was so good and so powerful.
About Denmark. Well, first of all, I think I think we were blessed with good timing. So definitely because of also of the work that we had been done, that we in 16 and 17, where we focused very much on the European community and building that, and that became later on the EVP, so the European Visual Practitioners. But because we put in a lot of work with that, and we were touring basically all over Europe, starting in Rome in February 2017. And then I think it was 4 times in 2017, and then also at least one meetup. I know Madrid was in beginning of 2018, just before the conference.
Yes.
But because we had laid that ground, like we've done that, and because of like there was kind of like a blossoming in Europe, I think we had quite good traction to getting people to come to the conference. And so I actually decided, it was in 2014, I actually decided in Berlin that I wanted to bring the conference to Denmark. So having that vision and following that path, and then already in 2016 it was defined, when was it going to be. I think we also started to think about like the vision for the conference. Mara and I, it was we had a partnership from the beginning, and we were very focused that this whole European journey would somehow like culminate in Rungstedgaard in July 2018. So I think because we had that path leading up towards it, was part of. So it was kind of what do you call it, like finally people saw what had been happening, and especially the European community. So I think its timing was a big part of it. And then Rungstedgaard is just a special place because we were able to all stay there together. So we had both the venue, like with conference rooms, meetings rooms, restaurant, everything, and then also the hotel part, so people were staying there, and that was part of also the story that we could build, that it would be kind of like summer camp, and I think that was definitely a feeling that that came like almost instantly, like as soon as people walked into Rungstedgaard and checked into the hotel and checked into the conference, it really was a lot like being in summer camp, because we were all there together all the time from beginning to end. So I think those two things were part of it. And then, as you mentioned in the beginning, the weather, we were blessed with gorgeous summer weather, which is not a given in Denmark. But when Denmark is like, when we have weather like that, it's just beautiful. And we were right on the seaside, so it was just magical. That's the best word I can use for it.
Yeah, and to take from the European path, and because I was part of that, I can also jump a little bit on this and also make a connection to what's happening this year in Bilbao, because with this path it started in Rome, and as the saying says, all the paths take to Rome or start in Rome. So it really made sense, and definitely the culmination or the peak was in Rungstedgaard to wrap all this effort. But I remember that Madrid was a little bit like a little threshold before Denmark, and all the conversations had happened already. But one of the goals of that Madrid gathering was to keep the light fire. And I think that with all this, and I really connect with what you just said about like the right time, or like a blessed time. But we have been, all the world has been through different and global hard issues, and still we have several going on, and now the Ukraine war very close, and all still this COVID thing all around us with the different understandings, lots of suffering. So probably now we are still keeping this fire, like this little torch, and we really are aiming, and all this international team and on the local team that are working together with Mushote Potolovat, Miriam's team in Bilbao, and also with the IAVP. We're trying to keep this fire and relight this community sense. And I really felt it like this.
And that's definitely a big part of coming together again this summer, is like with everything else, there hasn't been any huge gatherings for more than 2 years. We've of course done a lot of things online, but I think that I love the online part of it, and I'm a huge fan of how much you can actually do online. But there's no doubt that in my mind that the real glue is also being together, and the way, the energy that you get when you are together, you I think you need that to
Yes.
also, yeah, to beam that or whatever into the online part, which is what I'm really, really hoping that will happen when we meet in Bilbao, is that we are going to be kind of a large group of around 100 people gathered in Bilbao. And then, I don't know, let's hope that we're going to be 200 people all around the world being online, but that we can connect and that we can create a really good energy from that. So it's not just on site or just online.
Yeah, yeah. Flavia said that she will be joining us virtually, but I think you mentioned something that is key also for this new that is coming and for these online relationships. Online relationships work better if you first had the chance to meet in person. It's like that bonding happens when we can see each other in 3 dimensions and see how what's
Yeah.
our size, how it's our energy that really helps for further connection or for further networking. Definitely after that, yes, yeah, and you're one to me. You're one of the beacons of this community sense, definitely, and you have been definitely a propeller. So we're really looking forward to encourage people to have that feeling
Yeah.
of connection.
Yeah.
And as we have experienced these last 2 years, we don't know what comes next.
No.
So let's grab the chance. Let's embrace the moment.
Yeah. 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 I mean, yeah, take a chance first of all, and just join however you can, but commit to joining, because one of the things that we've talked about a lot in planning the summit has been this whole disconnection. So how we have been disconnected throughout the world for the past couple of years, but also definitely in our community. So it is, we are going to reignite the visual thinking community, but also make new paths into different communities. So we are really,
Yes.
it's a very, very strong focus point for us at this summit, is to broaden the experience to be more than just the visual thinking community. So for me, it's important to talk, to say that we are very much focused on making a different kind of experience that may be what people know from previous conferences, but also to focus still on that whole, family gathering that we have very, very often felt, that coming together in the visual thinking community, that it feels like, kind of coming home in a sense, or, coming back to your family, or meeting a family that you didn't know you had, and just instantly be part of that. So so connecting and reconnecting, I think that
Yes.
those are, super important, like big topics for this conference. And I feel very strongly that if you feel, disconnected, then join, because
Yes.
it really is going to be a way to find your connection again to this community.
Yeah, and you mentioned also one of the highlights of the conference in Denmark was the shape of this style of summer camp, and in Bilbao it's going to be totally different, but in the same way. It's like going together on holidays, and
Yeah.
in a small and safe city like Bilbao, that we can go around all together and meet in different points of the area. And definitely this thing of connecting and reconnecting is something that we're so much looking forward to it. But yeah, but people, we know that people are facing challenges about making decisions about going there. So it's like we have I'm a Bilbao person, and you have been visiting Bilbao. Just what would be like a couple things that really hook your heart when you visited Bilbao for people
Oh.
to join us?
Well, I mean, yeah, I've been asked that question quite a few times lately, because now I've been to Bilbao twice within 6-7 months or something. So, and everybody's like, what is it about Bilbao? And I think, well, first of all, uh, for me, it's a very open city. So it's very spacious, even though it has tall buildings and a lot of people, but it feels spacious. And those spaces that you have in Bilbao are filled with beautiful things to look at. So you walk around in sculptures, in street art, you walk around in beautiful architecture. And the Guggenheim Museum is not the only beautiful architectural thing that you have. You have a lot of beautiful buildings. And then it's so that's like, for me, like that's the first thing that you meet in Bilbao. And then the next step is definitely of course the whole focus on food and drinks. So, which is very, very important. And but and also a huge part of the culture and the feeling in Bilbao. So for me, it's I'm very happy that Bilbao is where we're going to meet in the first summit after COVID, because it's going to be probably a smaller group than what we've been in the last couple of conferences. And for that, I just feel Bilbao is perfect, because it has this code, like it's like you say, it's a smaller city, so it's a little bit more cozy maybe than Berlin or London or Paris or whatever, but still it has this welcoming, open, artistic vibe to it that I think is going to be very aligned with the group that we are going to be in Bilbao.
Yeah, absolutely. And in this series of Instagram Live, we are like acknowledging this like sentence. We may need a pin already for this, that don't miss it, and don't be the ones that say, oh, that be the one of the that said I was in Bilbao, and don't regret not being there. Because it's really, I think all the team is putting their heart and soul on to this, and it's going to be threaded in the Basque culture, which is totally connected to food and drinks, as you mentioned. And we will be starting with an opening ceremony, like sort of easy cooking together, to have that feeling, because as some of you may know, that here in the Basque Country, we have this community sense of cooking together. We have something called like sociedad, which would be like little societies where people run, own, or rent in space to really get together to cook and share. And we're really trying to frame this type of space and this type of behaviors. And also we have been walking around the city, and for those that come from abroad and from other sides of the oceans, different oceans, we can say it is a safe city to walk around, no longer than half an hour walk from one point to another. So definitely it's a different way to make a community, but definitely those bonds are made forever. And as you say, Christina, this global visual family has really strong bonds. And it's very good to have the chance to be part of a welcome moment. And we really want to welcome everyone from all around the world.
Yeah, and even if you haven't, I mean, just stumbled across visual thinking or graphic facilitation or whatever, 2 weeks ago, and you don't know anything or anybody, I mean, join, because again, it is a very open and welcoming community, and they are gonna be more than eager, like they're gonna, fall over themselves in eagerness to help you, invite you, be open with ideas, suggestions, know-how, whatever. So, and I think, and I've heard other people say that too, with the visual thinking community, is one of the really strong things, and one of the very different things in this community from other communities is definitely this willingness to share, like just share everything, share knowledge, share your favorite markers, share videos or web pages or whatever, share a beautiful leather pencil case to the first person you meet when you walk into Berlin. So, I mean, I honestly, I don't think I've ever met a group that are so open and share so much as the visual thinking community. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and everybody's welcome.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. And also for those people, as you mentioned, that are starting in this world, for me, that this we shared that special moment in Berlin. For me, it was totally like when I imagine when Alice in Wonderland opens little gates and the answer is
Yeah.
here. I felt like I had like this
Yeah.
this yeah. So
Yeah.
you really find the answers with these conversations, and actually this summit is all shaped around conversations, like enabling people to have sense-making dialogues based
Yeah.
on what's happening. So it has been challenging. It's been challenging. It will be challenging till then, but it will be great.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and don't regret.
No,
Yeah.
no, and be part of shaking and shaping, because that's the phrase "shake it to shape it," and I think um, it sounds weird. Like when I say to people like shake what, shape what, but it makes a lot of sense when you explain it
Yes.
a little bit. And the way that we have been shaken, and we keep being, shaken in, small, in a small way, in a big way. COVID, of course, has been a big, really shook things up. Now you also mentioned the war in Ukraine, shaking things up. The whole, Trump, what happened in the U.S. Was also part of, shaking things up,
Yeah, yes.
and we are so much part of listening to all these conversations that go on all around the world and in all different areas and all different industries about what is happening in the VUCA world and
Yes.
everything. But we are also part of the conversations to shape a new way forward. And again, I think just like Rungsted was kind of perfect timing, in the sense that we had this journey of focusing on European community, and you can say Berlin had perfect timing in regards to, it was the first European conference. I think also Bilbao has a perfect timing, especially in this whole shaken, because we have been shaken, and we are still shaken and trying to find a new way forward. We've heard from a lot of people who are reluctant to buy a ticket because they are scared that they won't be able to make it, even now, 5 weeks away. They are still saying, well, I don't know what's going to happen in 5 weeks. So things are still being shaken all the time. And I think Bilbao is going to be, and the summit in itself is going to be part of an answer to a way forward, to shaping a new way forward for all of us. And we are going to focus a lot on how can we be part of all these conversations that take place in regards to shaping new paths forwards and new ways forward. And of course, not just, in Bilbao, but globally, online and in the hybrid sessions. It's super important, and I'm sorry if I forget sometimes that to mention the online, but online is such a big part of it. So the hybrid experience and online experience is such a big part of the experience that we are focused on creating. And I think everybody who joins, hopefully everybody who joins, is going to feel part of that conversation to shape things in a new way.
Yeah, absolutely. You portrayed so nicely with this way to shape the way forward. So I really want to treasure this portrayal of the spirit. But definitely the key word is hybrid. So we really are meaning to facilitate the interaction for the people from wherever they connect from whatever corner and shape it the best way for them. So yeah, definitely the shape would be presential and virtual, like two circles all together connected. Yeah, but we will have arrived to the 30 minutes, although have 1 minute to go. I have been, we just say, don't see any new questions, like just Flavia told us that she was joining from Brazil. Just remind people that this will be recorded and uploaded to the YouTube channel. And I want to thank you, Christina, I want to thank you for this Instagram live, and definitely I want to thank you personally for this bonding and this sparking and this keeping the fire. So this fire keeping is something that will last. Even if the fire is small, we'll keep it lighted for the next, definitely. Well, thank you so much, Christina. Thank you everyone who has joined for a minute, for two, but we will wait for you in Bilbao. Bye bye. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.